What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of The Dig, a series dedicated to helping you improve profitability on your farm.
That was quite the you. That was impressive.
Emphasize out of the lungs.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, now that's 2023 and we're into a new year, we thought it might be a good idea to take a few moments to look back at last year and see some of our best moments from the dig.
Or some of our worst.
Or some of our worst.
Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
Whoa! You're incredible.
Cold and wet conditions are...
What's love got to do?
Should a grower reduce the nitrogen rate on lower stands there?
Yes,
Going into a question.
Corn plants, the V4 frost damaged corn.
Travis, wave.
3.5 bushels per acre.
Golly.
On the dig.
On the dig.
Are we saying on the dig?
Would you look at that?
We are here on a nitrogen system study. And in this study, it is what it is with the name. It's a nitrogen system study.
It's cold up in North Vietnam.
No, you need to trim your nose hairs. Lord.
Dog
Exterminators. We have two PFR proven residue. Hold on.
Bless you. Okay. Could have held that one in.
I just snouted onto my sleeve.
Can people please watch these videos so we can eat?
Can we get gloves? Yeah, that was a little embarrassing.
Those guys were pretty terrible.
Yeah, I'm not sure they knew what they were doing back then.
No.
Anyways, I'm Aaron, and this is Collin.
Let's dig in.
Now that we look back at some of our bloopers from 2022, let's think about some of our favorite studies from 2022 here on the Atlanta PFR farm. So I'll start off with Collin. What was your favorite corn study we did this year?
So my favorite 2022 study would be our side dress depth study. In this study, we have our control with an injector nozzle. We go down to a 2 to 3 inch range and then a 5 to 6 inch range. So looking back at the results, you can see that in 2 to 3 inches, we gained a half a bushel. And if we went down to the 5 to 6 inch depth, we gained 2.5 bushels just by getting deeper into that soil profile. So that just really shows how important it is to get that UAN incorporated into the soil. So that was my favorite corn study, Aaron. What about you?
Well, you know, I hate to copy you, but mine's kind of going to be looking at nitrogen too.
Okay, nitrogen's important.
Yes, it is. All right, so nitrogen is a hot topic. It always has been, and it probably always will be. So in our nitrogen system study, we're looking at different timings and applications of urea versus UAN. And what you'll notice from our results is that really it all goes back to that 60 units with the planter, 2x2x2, and 130 pounds at side dress with the UAN. Time and time again, that keeps coming to the top as being our best practice. After those V3 applications that we made in this study this year, we really didn't get any measurable rain for like 5 or 6 weeks. So when you think about that urea that we spread at V3 on top of the ground, we didn't get those rains to get it incorporated, and we just stayed really dry. So that's why that UAN really shined this last year. On a year where we got a timely rain, we might see better results out of that urea. But for this year, the UAN was definitely king. All right, so we both said our favorite corn studies, but we can't just talk about corn, we gotta talk about beans too.
Absolutely.
Can you like turn me into a bean plant? Because that'd be kind of cool. I'm a bean, I'm a soybean. I'm a soybean. Collin, how you doing? Well, anyways, what's your favorite bean study from this year?
Well, I think my favorite study would be the Replant Threshold.
Ooh, tell us all about it.
Replanting is something we have to deal with every single year, and it's one of those knee-jerk reactions that we need to be able to figure out how to work through. 3 years ago, we implemented this Replant Threshold study, and over these 3 years, we figured out that it's around that 60,000 plants per acre that we really need to start having that conversation. If we get below that, we need to start having that conversation of if we need to tear it up and replant it or not. You know, soybeans can compensate for the room they're given. You know, you think about sitting on the bus, and if you're jam-packed with 2 people next to you, you're not gonna be able to have, you're not gonna have any room to grow. But if you got that whole seat, you can really stretch out and put your legs up. So soybeans are gonna be like that. So we just have to have that conversation with our local seed representative to see if we need to replant that or not and figure out how to work through that knee-jerk reaction. So Aaron, that was my favorite soybean study. What about you?
My favorite study from this year is actually a combination of 2 studies we've done in the past for quite a while, and we combined them into one. So it's actually our planting date by row width study. So in the past in PFR, we've always done 15 versus 30 studies, and then also planting date studies. And the thought was to combine the two to see if we can really pick out any certain time of the year where 15s shine way more than 30s, or maybe there's a time where 30s actually shine a little bit over 15s. And the preliminary results from this first year are still 15s are king. And then as we usually see within our planting date studies, that earlier planting paid for us. Now, April wasn't the ideal time this year. It was actually kind of that first half of May was the ideal time for planting beans around here this year. And a lot of that comes back to just that rain in August and how we were able to catch that. We had pretty similar stands across all of different planting dates. When we start looking at the data month by month though, the 15s beat the 30s every single time. And when we average that out across all those months, it came out to about 5.4 bushel advantage for the 15s over the 30s. So again, just kind of reinforces what we've thought of here in PFR for the last few years now is, those 15s give us an advantage over 30s every time. All right, so that was my favorite bean study. I'm sure we've got more we can talk about. So what's your next one you want to talk about?
I love.
Hey, wrap it up.
Okay,
Okay.
we're done then.
Time limit, we're done
Right.
here.
Okay.
If you guys want to learn more about PFR and the studies we're doing, make sure to watch more episodes, hit that like button, and also subscribe to the channel.
And we'll see you on another episode of The Dig. Really wanted to do that other spawning in.
Well, look,
What's one more? What's one
take
more?
it up with those
I don't
guys.
understand you guys. Like,
Whatever.
It's like a third show.
It's whatever. Let's just, whatever. We'll go do our own
You know
thing
what?
now.
Screw it, I'm out of here. Let's dig in. Okay, sorry. I wanted to get that one out. Okay.
Okay.